I've been active in social media wherever I've played, the past few years, and Kansas City is unique in the fact that everybody in that whole community, I feel like they know who we are as ball players for the Royals. They support us. I feel like all of them go to every game. Obviously, that isn't the case, but that's the way you would think it is, the way they track us down, say hello, tell us they were at this game and rooting for us. And, it's just created a really unique relationship amongst the team and the people. I think Eric Hosmer and Salvi, of course, and everybody else who's using their social media to connect would be able to share the same experience as I have. I knew Kansas City was an enjoyable place to play as a visiting player, but obviously through the years that I had come and played against the Royals, the team had not been terribly successful, and so it wasn't like there was big sellout crowds, and you didn't get the sense for the potential of what Kansas City is as a baseball team. Certainly if you lived there earlier in the 80s and 70s and whatnot, then you probably would have known that. But, coming from where I came from, it was something I didn't expect. And so to be a part of it and see the way that it transformed everything, not just people, but the community. And I mean, it just, anything to do with Kansas City and baseball has been, reestablished to probably the way that it used to be. When you had George Brett and those great players for the Royals in those years. The whole experience, fortunately for me, I got two opportunities to play in the World Series. One where I was very involved, and that focus had to be there day in and day out from when my name was called. And last year to where I was, just a supporter of the team, and so I could really kind of soak in every moment, not have to prepare physically necessarily for any contribution to the team, but just trying to be a positive influence and stay out of the way of the guys that were, that were out there competing. So I think that gives me, a unique perspective where I can really feel and remember the moments that we went through, all of them. The comebacks early on in the playoffs seemed magnificent, and by the end, they just became expected. I think each one of us sat in those dugouts or in the clubhouse, wherever you might be, and just expected to win those games. And it's a good feeling when you have guys that are out there fighting and playing, and you feel like there's no quit and that there's no obstacle that they can't overcome. And I think that's, kind of the mentality that fans have taken up alongside the team.
To be one of the guys who's been to Game 7 start of the World Series, that has to be pretty special too for you.
Absolutely. Obviously I wish we could have won the game. We went up against a good team that, and a great pitcher that did his job more times than not against us. So, to have that opportunity for me was something I'll never forget. You look back into that season in 2014, and through much of the middle of the year I didn't pitch very well, and it was very likely that had we gotten to the playoffs, I may not have been a part of that playoff run as well, as I was, like I wasn't in 2015. But I pitched, great. I got into a good groove in August and September, and felt as confident as I'd ever been in my career that I could go out there and compete and beat anybody. And so, one of the moments you asked earlier about as a Royal, what were my most memorable moments, I think, being in Chicago and being able to pitch the game that helped us clinch our first playoff berth was special, because we had so many fans there from Kansas City to watch that moment happen. And it was like breaking down a big wall and getting a big monkey off of our backs that had been there for so long. And that was really important for me to be out there and be a part of that game. And I felt like that was really one of the highlights of my career. And then go into the playoffs and be lined up to pitch a potential Game 7. It expressed a lot of confidence in me from the coaching staff. And I went out there and felt like I had every chance in the world to go out there and throw a shutout. And it didn't work out that way, but to be a part of it, like I said, there's 35, maybe 36 Game 7. Winner take all, so I'm in the history books one way or another. I was either going to be one of 35 or 6 to win it, or one of 35 or 36 to lose it. My wife and me spoke before I signed the contract in 2013, and our goal was to spend 2 or 3 years in the community and move our family there if we had that opportunity. And so when Kansas City offered the contract that they did, for us it was immediate. This is what we want to do. We went and looked for a place that we could live and try and involve ourselves in the community, and it's been nothing short of perfect for our family and for our kids, and be able to develop relationships and be a part of a great school district. We're very grateful for their teachers and for the administration. It's been tremendous for them, and then sports teams and coaches. It's just been a great experience all the way around. as players, we're never perfect, so we're going to go through struggles. We have good times, we have bad times, and I think I really appreciated the fact that the fans always stayed positive, and I think that was kind of an attribute of the team, that you always focused on the good and building off of that. And you're always going to have the inevitable failures, but they were always very positive with us and with other teammates that I saw fans interact with. And maybe in terms of an experience that kind of sums it up for me, I remember I was at a Burger King one time, early in the morning, like at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I got something, and there was a young girl working the window, and when I gave her the money, she's like, wow, congratulations and everything, I'm a big fan, we love the Royals, we watch all the games. And she couldn't have been older than maybe 19, 20, and just didn't look like the type of girl that would even care about baseball or know about it. But that kind of sums it up, that everybody in Kansas City, no matter where you were, at whatever time you were, no matter how you were dressed or what circumstance you were in, it just seems like everybody seemed to recognize the Royals. And I think there was a real connection between the fans and the players that I had never seen anywhere else. I spent 5 years in Baltimore and lived in downtown every single day. I rode my bike through people and walked to the field all the time, and they would say an occasional hello, but it was nowhere near kind of the recognition and outpouring of like support and we love you guys that I experienced in Kansas City. So that's probably one of the more unique and memorable things that I can kind of sit back and think about.